glasses on. I think I see a lot of young ladies who have not yet graduated high school. Is that correct? I want to give y'all a couple points. I'm going to give you 5. Number 1, you go to school to focus on your books, not the boys. The boys will be there when you are done your education. Focus on your work. Stop focusing on love and romance. I've seen too many young ladies lose 4 scholarships. I've seen too many ladies have to drop out of school because they put sex in boys before education and future. Stay focused. The boys will be there when you're done. Number 2. For those of you in high school, and you tell your parents, I told you this. If you're thinking about going to college, and you know Dr. Umar already wants you to go to trade school first. But if you go to college first anyway, so be it. Do not choose a college until you have visited the college. Too many young people are choosing colleges without going. You know why that's bad? When you look in a brochure for college, what they show you is not what they have there. You have to physically go and see if the dormitories look like this. You have to physically go and see if the food is this good. You have to physically go and see, am I going to have my own apartment? Because colleges are misleading. So make sure you visit. Because guess what? If you show up at that school and that financial aid gets sent there, and they disperse those student loans, I don't care if you was only there 1 week. You leave that college, and your loan money already got transferred to the bursar's office, you cannot get it back. That's $30,000 you have just lost. Visit the college before you go. Next point. Every college does not offer every degree. You want to be an astronomer? Every school doesn't have an astronomy program. You want to be a lawyer? Every school doesn't have a law program. You want to be a nurse? Every school doesn't have a nursing program. This is why you have to go through the brochures and see if the colleges you're interested in have the programs that you want. Please don't choose a college without making sure they have the program you want. I've seen so many young people do this only to find out they don't even have what I want. And my question is, why didn't you know that? Next, you're going to have to make a decision, ladies. Are you going to stay in Texas and go to school? Or are you going to go out of state? Everybody wants to go to school out of state. Everybody wants to go to school in Florida. Everybody wants to go to school in New York. Everybody wants to go to school in Los Angeles. But guess what? That tuition is going to cost you 3, 4, 5 times as much. In-state tuition is a little cheaper. Out-of-state tuition, a whole lot higher. I got accepted to Morehouse in Atlanta, Dr. King's alma mater. I wanted to go to Morehouse, but guess what? Morehouse was so expensive that I said to myself, I'm going to go right up here to Millersville University, this little rinky-dinky horse and carriage Amish country school. Okay? And I went to Millersville, but guess what? It saved me a lot of money. And I do not regret not going to Morehouse. In fact, I just got invited to do a Zoom conference with the boys at Morehouse. But please make good decisions. Don't follow nobody to college. I don't care if you got a twin sister. If your twin sister wants to go to Florida State, don't go to Florida State just because your sister going, because what if she drops out? You're stuck. What if she gets pregnant? You're stuck. What if she gets married? You're stuck. Make your decisions for yourself. Once you choose a college, don't leave until you're done. I did not like Millersville University. It was nothing but crackers up there. But guess what? I said when I get there, I'm not leaving until I'm done. I had friends transferring to Drexel, transferring to Temple. I'm going down to Spelman. And every time you go to a new college, do you know what they do to your credits? They take stuff from you.
That's right.
You should have been a junior. You were sophomore all over again.
That's right.
You should have been a sophomore. You were freshman all over again. Take as long as you want to make a decision. But once you choose where you want to go, you stay there until you're done. Next, when you get to college, do well early. You know what we do, black folks? We go to college and we party. And we join the frats, we join the sororities, we smoke the weed, we get drunk, and we get kicked the hell out for academic probation. See, High school can't kick you out. Colleges can. The first time your GPA goes beneath 2.5, you're going to get a letter in the mail. You're on academic probation. Second time it goes beneath 2.5, you're out of there. And after you get kicked out of one college, what is the chances another college is going to let you in? Last point I want to make. When you apply to college or trade school, there's 5 things they're looking for. They want your SAT and your ACTs. They want your transcript. Transcript got to come from your high school. Transcript can't come from you. If it comes from you, it's going in the trash. It must be official, and it must be from the school secretary. Third thing you're going to need, a letter of recommendation. You're going to need 2 of these. Don't ask 2 teachers. Ask 4 teachers. Why is Dr. Umar telling me to get 4 letters of rec if I only need 2? Because one of those teachers might be a hater. And one of them teachers might write a letter that you don't like. And if you don't have a backup, you're going to be stuck. So you never ask for what you need, you ask for more than what you need. Don't get 2 letters of recommendation, you get 4. And you make sure each of them gives you 20 copies of that same letter. You know why? Because you're going to apply to 20 different schools. No less than 5, no more than 25. No less than 5 colleges, no more than 25. How are you going to break down your 25 colleges, ladies? 5 of them are local. Dr. Umar wants you to apply to 5 schools in the state of Texas. Why? I don't want you to go to school in Texas. I want you to go to school out of Texas, or at least 2 hours away from Houston. You might go to Austin, you might go to Dallas, but I don't want you here. Why don't I want you to go to school where you live at? Too many distractions. Your girlfriends are here, your cousins are here, your boyfriends are here, the weed man is here, everybody's here. I want you 2 hours away so you can focus, okay? So 5 schools are going to be local. The only reason why you're applying to these 5 local schools is if you don't get accepted anywhere else, you can still start on time. Another 5 schools are going to be HBCUs. You must apply to HBCUs. Because without the HBCUs, Black America would not be where we are. The HBCU is the reason we even still have a black so-called middle class today. The doctors, the lawyers, the teachers, the psychologists, the HBCU is the reason Black America still has a professional class. So you're going to do 5 HBCUs. I don't care if it's Spelman, I don't care if it's Cheney, I don't care if it's the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, I don't care if it's Delaware State University, I don't care if it's South Carolina State, I don't care if it's the HBCU over there in Austin, where I'll be speaking at on Sunday the 25th of this month. For those of you in Austin, I'll be there the 25th, 4 o'clock at the HBCU. What's the name of it? Hilton? Hudson?
Houston, Tillerson.
Tillerson, Stilton.
Houston, Tillerson.
That one, I'll be there on the 25th at 4. 5 HBCUs, 5 local, the next 5 are boondock schools. You know what that means? Dr. Umar wants you to apply to 5 colleges that have nothing but white folks at. Now, why do Dr. Umar want me at a pasty pilgrim ass time? You know why? Because if you apply to a school that's all white, it's going to increase your chances of getting in, and it's going to increase your chances of getting a full scholarship. And guess what? If you get a full scholarship to We Hate Black Girls University, you're going to go. You want to know why you're going to go? Because after you graduate from We Hate Black Girls University, you will have a degree and you will owe 0 student loan debt. I don't care if it's horses. I don't care if you got to sleep in a room with a cow. I don't care what they got going on. I don't care if the Ku Klux Klan is burning crosses every night. If they giving you a full ride, you are there. Hey. Well, she got 8 colleges left. The last 8 colleges are what I call realistic opportunities. These are 8 schools that you got the SATs for, you got the ACTs for, you got the grades for, and you have a good chance of getting in. Those are your last 8. That's how you're going to decide where you want to go to college. And you better visit some of them. You might can't visit them all, but you better visit some. And you tell your mom straight up, Mom, that college costs $40,000 a year. If you send me there and we don't go visit and I don't like it, you're going to lose a lot of money. Wouldn't it be cheaper to spend $200 on a plane ticket than lose $30,000? That's how you got to do that. All my parents in here, stop being lazy. Get off your behind and take your children to go visit these colleges before they make their final decision. You must go. Also, I want your children on campus. I want you on campus. I don't want you living at home because I want you to be in the academic atmosphere. Children who live on campus tend to do better than those who do not. And what else you going to need? ACT, SAT, transcript, 2 letters of recommendation, application fee. College costs money. So if you're applying to 20 colleges, the average application fee is $50. Do you know what that means? You need $1,000 just to apply, and you don't get the money back. So I'm gonna give you a little secret on how you can get this money. You go and get you a notebook, right? You fold the papers in half and you write the name of all 20 schools. And then you go around the community and you say, hey, Mama Doris, would you like to sponsor my application to Harvard or to Cheney or to Spelman or to the University of Texas? That sounds a whole lot better than I need $50. Right. So you go around and you get it done. So if you get accepted, they feel good and say, I sponsored an application to California State University.
Takes a village.
Last thing, I'm gonna be quiet. The most important thing in your application is a personal statement. Every college wants you to tell them why you want to come here. And I'm telling you now, if you screw up that letter, I don't care how good your grades were, I don't care how high your SAT scores were, you will not get in. The personal statement is the most influential item in the college or trade school application. And do you know why? It's because it is the single best estimate of how well you've been educated. Your writing skills. Your writing skills are the single best estimate of how well you've been educated. Let me explain this to you, ladies. She graduated from Texas, a high school in Texas. You graduated from a high school in Louisiana. You graduated from a high school in New Jersey. You graduated from a high school in Detroit. All y'all got straight A's and B's. I'm the admissions officer at Texas State University. How do I know which one of you have received the best education in your high school? Y'all all got A's and B's. You know how I find out? Your writing skills. If you spell a word wrong, application in the trash. You don't know how to use a comma, application in the trash. Run-on sentences, application in the trash. And when you write your letter, 3 things gotta be in. Why do you want to go to that school? Don't say because I like the football team. Don't say because my auntie went there. Don't say because my mama went there. They don't want to hear that. They want to know why you going. So you know what I said? I said, I want to come to Millersville University to study psychology because I have learned that your psychology department is ranked 16 out of the top 100 middle university psychology programs. You have 2 professors who have won national honors for their research in adolescent child development, and I would love to study at the feet of these devils. If you give me Tell them why you chose that college. Tell them why you chose your major. And tell them how they know you're going to finish. You have to deal with how you're going to finish. Because black students got a bad reputation. We show up, we join the frat, we get drunk, smoke some weed, have a baby, get kicked out. So you have to tell them, I'm the first in my college to go to college. First in my family to go to college. Education is important to me. My mother and father are counting on me. I want nothing more but to be an asset to my community. I want to come back and help it, and I want to do that as a lawyer. I want to do that as a nurse. I want to do that as a social worker. I want to do that as a teacher. They have to feel your passion. Don't say nothing silly. Okay? Make sure somebody proofreads your letter. Do not send it in unless somebody read it. Then make sure it looks good. Because the college application process is a process of keeping you out, not keeping you in. Last thing, get your applications in early. Yes. Early bird gets the scholarship. Parents, a lot of your children are not getting scholarships that were theirs because the applications are showing up on the last day. I used to work in an admissions office. Do you know when they decide to give out the scholarships? As soon as they start accepting applications. that means another child got your scholarship because they got their application in week 1 and you waited to the last week. Early bird gets the scholarship. No matter what you do in life, you make sure you give it your best. And whatever you choose to study, you make sure you chose it because you want to do it. Don't let your mother tell you what to do. Don't let your father tell you what to do. Don't let your friends or siblings tell you what to do. I wanted to be a psychologist since I was in the 3rd grade. I didn't know what kind of money they made. All I knew was I wanted to help people feel better about themselves. And I stuck with it. I got lucky because black people crazy, so they need psychologists. You know what I'm saying? So I got lucky. But here's the thing. I know a lot of people who make a lot of money who don't like their life because they don't like their career. I went to a medical college. And you know what the psychology students had to do? We had to do counseling with the medical students. Guess what the #1 reason I had to counsel medical students? They did not want to be doctors. Guess why they were there? Because mommy and daddy were doctors and expected them to keep up the family tradition. And now I'm counseling these white kids who are about to graduate, making $250,000 or more. One of them told me, God is my witness. You know what this one white kid told me? He said, I don't even like the sight of blood. He told me this, and he's about to graduate. And guess what we were doing? I had to give him enough courage to tell his mother and father that even though you paid for this, and even though I'm a graduate, I will not be a doctor. Do y'all hear me? You lived your life. I wanted to be a psychologist. I wasn't going to let nobody tell me nothing different. Choose what you want, because you're going to spend the rest of your life doing whatever you choose. So you make sure it's something you love. You want to choose a career that you would work at, whether you got paid for it or not. I'm going to help kids, whether I got paid for it or not. I'm going to be a therapist, whether I got paid for it or not. Do something you love. That way the money is only a cherry on the top, not a reason to do it. Because the 2 most important questions in life and the 2 predictors of happiness in life are real simple. Ask yourself, this is for everybody. 2 most critical predictors of happiness in life. Do you love what you do for a living? That's the job. That's the career. I don't care how much money you make. Do you love it? Number 2, do you love who you spend your life with? That's the person you go home to. If you love your job but don't love your mate, you work a lot of overtime. If you love your mate, don't love your job, you call off a lot and stay home. If you love your job and love your mate, you're pretty happy. If you hate your job and can't stand your mate, we need some therapy in here. We need some therapy. Oh yes, we do. Brothers and sisters, we got to slow down and take our time. It's easy to get involved in a relationship. It's hard to get out of it. Stop giving away your energy to people who don't deserve it. Black woman, there's a lot of good men in Houston. I know most brothers in Texas are good brothers, but you got some brothers who ain't so good. And who are those brothers who ain't so good? That's the pimp, the player, the impregnator, the couch potato,
The gamer.
and the pretender. Y'all want to hear about them real quick?
Absolutely.
Young ladies, I want y'all to pay attention because some of them waiting for you in college. You better not get caught up being a sucker. Okay? Okay? Ladies, the pimp is the man who will use you for your financial assets. He wants your money. He wants your credit card. He wants you to pay his child support. He wants you to take care of him. He wants you to be his financial and economic benefactor. Now, please don't confuse this with a woman who's holding her man down until he gets on his feet. Because that's temporary and that's perfectly okay. I'm talking about a man who ain't trying to get on his feet because he always laying in your bed while you go to work. Ladies, be careful of the pimp. He will suck you dry. And once he took all your savings and all your assets and all your retirement, he'll drop you off and find another sucker and do it for them too. Beware of the pimps in the hood. And then you have the player Who's the player? The player is the opposite of the pimp. He don't want your money, he got his own. He don't want your car, he got his own. He don't want your credit or your house, he got his own. The player is only looking for one thing in Texas. He's looking for cookies. And he like all kinds of cookies. He like chocolate cookies, Sister Mecca. He like sweet brown sugar cookies. He like hot caramel cookies. He like that hot pistachio cookie. He is nothing but the Houston Cookie Monster! You better stop laughing, little boy. See, ladies, I'm gonna tell you like this. Most men have a period in their life where they do a little bit of cookie monstering. But then they find the woman of their dream, the one they want, and then they get rid of all the women on the side. That's most men. Some men are dysfunctional. They will be a cookie monster forever. Some of you got grandfathers. Still cookie monster. He only got one leg working, and he's still out there looking for the damn old ladies. Beware of the cookie monster. And when y'all get to college, it's going to be a lot of cookie monsters. And keep your cookies to yourself and you focus on your books. Get out of there a virgin. I want you to graduate from college a virgin. Nobody ever touched you until you get married. That's how I want it. And then you got couch potatoes. These are men who were spoiled by their mother. They are no good to no women. Their mother clean their clothes. The mother wash their drawers. The mother cook their food. The mother clean the bathroom. The mother ain't never make that lazy nigga do nothing for himself. And now he looking for a woman who's just like my mama. Some of you mothers out here are raising horrible sons who are going to destroy other women's lives. Black mother, your job is to teach your son responsibility. Too many women are looking for a man that they are not raising in their own homes. You want a responsible man, but look at your son. You want a hard-working man, but look at your son. You want a man who respects black women, but look at your son. Could it be that your karma is the reason you can't find it because you're not making it? And then who else we got? We got the predator. The predator is a very dangerous man. He's a better psychologist than Dr. Umar. And he don't even have the degrees. He can walk into a room like this and sense all the thirsty queens. He can feel them. And then he's going to meet you in the lobby, and he's going to get your number, and it's going to start off real good. He's going to be taking you out and whining and dining you, and then all of a sudden, he's going to start trying to separate you from your support base. Why you got to go to church with your mother every Sunday? Why you got to hang out with your girlfriends every Friday? Why you got to volunteer at the club every Wednesday with the little kids? You have a man now, and you should be home with me. And then he starts verbally criticizing. I don't like you gaining too much weight, or you losing too much weight, or you don't cook good no more. He starts working on his self-esteem. And then he starts verbally threatening. And ladies, I'm going to say this because I know this as a therapist. If a man hits you once, he's going to hit you again. Because the impulse to beat a woman isn't something you think of in the moment. It is an unconditioned response, which means the bad behavior was probably already exemplified by mother's boyfriend or dad himself. And once he hits you, that's the moment of reality. Too many women say, I'm not going to tell you to leave the relationship, but I am going to tell you to leave the home. Tell him, if you still want this, you're going to go to a therapist. He's going to tell you, I don't know him. And you're going to say, I'm going to call Dr. Umar and get one right now. Because your ass is crazy. And Dr. Umar told me on July 10th that this shit is going to happen to me. Ladies, it's okay to love him, but make him get the help he needs if you want to stay in your life. condition for this relationship to continue is you're going to get therapy, and while you're getting that therapy, we cannot live under the same roof because my daughter cannot see me getting beat by a man. Because girls who see their mothers get beat are more likely to accept it. And boys who see their fathers beat women are more likely to do it. That predator is a dangerous man because he will wear you down. And the next thing you know it, you think you need him to survive. Ladies, beware of the predator. Brothers, keep your hands off these women. And one day we're going to have us a ski mask club. So all the sister got to do is make one phone call. And the new Black Panther Party will be at that door, shotgun ready. I heard you put your hands on one of my sisters and get your ass out here and take this with you. We got to get there, family. We're the only community who does not reward good behavior or punish bad behavior. In the Italian community, the mafia rewards and punishes. Every community has a system of reward and punishment except black people, and there's no way we're going to get to where we need to be if we don't start rewarding and punishing. So that's the pimp, that's the player, that's the predator, that's the couch potato, and then you have the pretender. This is the man who goes around making women think he got everything going for himself, but he really has nothing at all. Last week, he was A&R for Puff Daddy. This week, he's Beyonce's road manager. Next week, he owns 10 McDonald's. It's a low self-esteem brother who attracts women by making them think he has more to offer than what he does. But I blame the women for that. Because if he wasn't after materialism and money, he could have never got you in the first place. And if I'm going to talk about the 5 types of dysfunctional women, I need to talk about the 5 types of dysfunctional men. I got to talk about the 5 types of dysfunctional women. Y'all ready for this? Now, before I say anything, brothers, I want you to look around the room and look at the women who can't sit still. Look at the ones who shiver. Look, she's shaking. Look, she's shaking. Look, kids, why y'all can't sit still? The 5 types of dysfunctional women are the hopeless romantic, homicidal honey, hot in the pants, home wrecker, and the healer. Get her some therapy! We need it! Is there a pastor in here? At least she was honest! The healer is the great fixer-upper. The woman who thinks she can solve a man's problems. He had problems before you met him, but you think you're going to somehow rub your crystal ball and eliminate his alcoholism. You're going to rub the crystal ball and eliminate his crack addiction. You're going to rub the crystal ball and think you're going to take a 30-year unemployed man and turn him into the next U.S. congressman from Texas. You have lost your damn mind. Nobody changes unless they want to change. And too many women are out here fixing up men using time and money you should have better spent fixing up yourself. And what happens is, once you help him reinvent his life, he finds another woman who's more on his level because you were working on him while you were not working on yourself. When you date somebody, you must ask yourself one simple question. Can I live with this person as they are, with all of their deficits, until the day I die, if they never change? And the problem with us, we will go get married because I like 60% of her, and I think marriage will fix the other 40. Well, I got news for you. Marriage don't make problems smaller, they make them bigger. Because now y'all under the same roof. So you better maximize that problem and multiply it by 10. Because if it's a problem during engagement, it's damn sure gonna be a problem during marriage. Oh, and I got another thing, ladies. Marriage is not a panacea. for promiscuity. Some women think if I wife her. Some men think if I wife her. Nah, brother, if she like throwing cookies out, ain't nothing you gonna do to stop that. Which takes us to this hot in the pants. Them cookies are still in the oven. She giving them out before they done. Butter almond, sweet brown sugar. Right, I just put them in. I could give a damn. Who want these cookies? So that's your healer. That's your hot in the pants. Let's talk about the homewrecker. Look how quiet it is. This is a therapeutic session, so in order for this to be therapeutic, we need everybody to be honest. So all the sisters in here, if you have wrecked a home, raise your hands. One hand went out. One hand. Who has to you stop? Let me tell you how the home wreckers work. You see, black men, we be so thirsty for them curves that our intelligence gets turned off. Listen, black men, there's too much competition between black women for you to think one of them is going to be a secret so the other one can be happy. Let me say it one more time. Wow. Let me say it one more time, because I want every black man to hear it again. There's no black woman in America who's going to be a secret so another black woman can be happy. It's not going to happen. But this is how they get us. Because she come up to me and say, hey, I'm feeling you, bro. I say, I'm married. She say, that's what I respect about you. She needs therapy! You say, I got a wife and I got kids. I don't need no trouble. I would never do something like that. I respect what you have. I recently got a divorce. I just need a little bit of time. I'll take what I can get. I'm here to be a support, not a distraction. So you go over there and y'all bake a cookie. Y'all have some cookies and milk. Cookies and milk. First time, it was cool. First 6 months, she stayed in her place. But then her emotions came down. And now she said, I don't just want to see you on Sunday afternoon. I need 2 weeknights. You say, I can't be going no damn weeknights. I got a wife! Dr. Umar told me this on July 10th. Stop it, little boy. So you know what you do? You cut her off. Don't call me no more. You change your phone number, your email, your TikTok, your Clubhouse. That's the worst thing you could have done. Because now you cut off all communication. Guess who she gonna go to? The wife. She gonna tell her what y'all did, how y'all did it, where y'all did it. She gonna make your wife so angry. By the time you come home, your clothes already outside. Your son looking at you like you are no player at all. And brothers, it's nobody's fault but ours. Because sooner or later, that woman's emotions are going to get the best of it, which means they're going to get the best of your marriage. If you are a polygamous brother, be honest and let women make a decision. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Some brothers need more than one queen. If that's you, you have a right, but the queens have a right to opt in or opt out. But don't be telling her, you all I need. And you got 60 crazy ass bald-headed women in the Houston projects who can't wait to cut it out. So that's your homework. And they come in all ages too. And see, the homewrecker is mad at other women because so many of her men have been stolen that she don't care who she hurt. As far as she's concerned, I don't care because they took my men, I'm gonna take their men, so she's trying to get back. And she might have 4 men and they're all married. She makes a living destroying relationships and it makes her feel better. That's how low her self-esteem is. And then we got the homicidal honey. Don't ever become a homicidal honey. These are violent women. They do not talk, they fight. Brothers know what I'm talking about. They will beat you up. Brother, you ever was at a family reunion and you said something your queen didn't like and she just smacked the piss out you right in front of your mother? You're like, Megan, what you doing with my mother right here? I'm hungry. Should I smack her too? The homicidal honey is a domestic abuse victim who got so tired of getting beat that she's so hyper vigilant for violence that soon when her brother raised his voice, he's not even a violent brother. He just got a little angry. She's so hyper vigilant and hostile that she automatically perceives any reaction as a threat. And all she does is fight. She burns, she cuts, she busts windows out, she beat up baby moms. She'll beat up all your baby moms. She's good to keep them in order though, because they will not mess with you while she's around. But that's the homicidal honey. And you always know who they are. You know why? Because the crazy sisters, they never blink. Whenever, just look at her, brother. You ever see a woman, you turn the fan on, she still don't blink. And then the last woman of the night is the hopeless romantic. Oh, she's so sweet. She's such a nice sister. The problem is she falls in love with every man she needs. She was in love last Monday. She's in love this past Friday. She'll be in love tonight. So brother, you take her out, what's the nice black-owned soul food joint in Houston? Sugars was there. No shootouts, right? Okay. You took her to Sugars. Y'all had a nice meal. You took her home. Nothing happened. Nice. You on your way. You get a text message. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm a spiritual sister. And I could feel something tonight. I can't put my finger on it right now. But my ancestors speak to me all the time. And they told me that you're going to marry a man by the name of Marcus. You say, but I'm not Marcus, I'm Mark. Close enough. And my ancestors said that I am supposed to make you mine. No matter what. You see, brothers, when a woman starts telling her she's digging us too early, it goes to her head. We be egotistical with it instead of psychological. Like, wait a minute, this might be a little psychological assessment. You're like, nah, I got it. I'm straight delicious. I'm Mr. Heat. And then the worst thing you can do is take a cookie from a crazy queen. Because you cannot give those cookies back! Stop it! Little, I'm gonna get you! So one day you at the supermarket and your phone rings and you in the ice cream aisle and nobody else is in the supermarket and she says, I want strawberry shortcake. And you like, how do you know I'm in the ice cream line? Stop calling me. And then you drive home. And then you're like, I can't find my keys. Boy! And you get another text. Come on in, baby. I'm already here. Brothers, it is not natural for a woman to fall in love on the first date. You get you a woman talking about being crazy over you after 7 days. She's not balanced. Do not take those cookies! Boy! Now, as I close, my next book that I'm working on is the For Sisters Only Relationships and Dating. When it's done, I'm going to come back and do my For Sisters Only seminar. Because there's a lot that women don't know that y'all need to know in order to deal with us. And then I'm going to do For Brothers Only Relationships and Dating. Because you can't be in love with marijuana and your queen at the same time. You can't be in love with that alcohol and your woman at the same time. So I got to talk to the brothers about some things as well. And you got to get over that hurt your mother caused you as a little boy. Because if you don't, you're going to objectify your woman as your mother, and all of that anger that your mother should have got, your woman is getting it, and then your daughter is going to get it too. Brothers have to get therapy. When we need therapy, you can't just keep on pushing that pain down, because it will come out. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. So brothers need healing, sisters need healing, and we got to stay out of these codependent relationships. You know what that is? That means when your woman has a dysfunction that she needs you to co-sign, and you have a dysfunction that you need her to co-sign. So you in love with marijuana, she in love with alcohol, and you tell her, it's okay, baby, you ain't that drunk. And she tell you, it's okay, baby, you ain't that high. No, this is real. Y'all. That's why drug addicts always date each other. It's codependent. Because I know she's not going to hold me accountable because she can't hold herself accountable. And these are some of the most toxic and disruptive relationships. But I want to close with this. If I was in charge of marriage in Houston, all the brothers who want to have more than one woman, I would have them registered. And all the women who would be open to it, I would have them registered. And the men could only have 4 maximum. Maximum. If he could even, remember, this is only for women who are interested, not for sisters. And then I'm going to put the sisters in 4 groups. A, B, C, and D. Now, ladies, I want you to listen so you can know what group you go in. Group A is all the fine sisters. They got their own business, good job. They might have degrees. They might have 1 or 2 children. They look good. They doing good. They the women in Texas that all the brothers want. That's the A's. Everybody's not on the A's. Because polygamy is supposed to benefit all women, not just the A-listers. Brothers, you can only have 1 A-lister. That's it. If you want more than 1 wife, no problem, but you only get 1 from the A-list. You're not going to have Beyonce and Megan as style. It's just not going to work. Because Megan is fine! Soon as she get ready to leave, I want that little pearl. Stay focused. Anybody got her number? You think I can make her conscious? Can I get her conscious? No. I can't. It's over with. She ain't gonna give up the weed. Let's stay focused. Now the B list are sisters who are just below A. They might have got divorced, but they still doing good. Might have got 3, 4 children, still doing good. They right there. Brothers, you can only have 1 of them. And then you get to the C list. Now, C stands for be a little bit more careful with your children. Now, C lists are women with a little bit more baggage. Okay? Might have been married 4 or 5 times. Might have 13, 14 years. Might still be working on the GED. Be quiet. She is cracking maybe I have worked for the past 30 years. Okay? A little more baggage. Brothers, you must marry 1 C. You can have 2 C's if you want. In fact, you can have 4 C's. Close your ears, little girl! Number 4 is the D list. D stands for dangerous. These women have a history of incarceration, a couple murders in there, might have sliced up a boyfriend too. Probably took Ritalin in school. Prozac, Medicaid, Risperdal, couple bouts of alcoholism, couple drunk driving charges. Beat their kids up a few times, got arrested. She dangerous. You gotta have one of them too. Then the good thing about the D-listers, they gonna keep A, B, and C in order. Because they don't do it. They don't take no garbage. The point I'm trying to make is if black women were to come together as women without the men around, it dealt with the shortage of black men. I think sisters could come up with a system that might tolerate some degree of polygyny, but requires so much responsibility that brothers would look the other way. As I close, I want to leave with a quote from Frederick Douglass, my ancestor. And Frederick said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom and deprecate agitation are like men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder or lightning. They want the ocean without the roar of the water. Frederick said, a man may not get all he pays for, but he was paid for all that he gets. And this must be paid for with blood or with blows or with both, but he who wants to be free must strike the first blow. He said, for 20 years I prayed on my knees to God for freedom, but the good Lord gave me no freedom until I got up off my knees and started praying with my feet. He said, if you want respect from white people, why do you look for pity? The man who pities you will never respect you, and the man who respects you has no need for pity. Power concedes nothing without a demand.
That's right.
It never did, and it never will. There was a black man born in slavery by the name of Booker T. Washington.